I feel like the most appropriate way to kick off today's show would be to talk about Game 2 of Vegas versus Florida last night. You have ourselves a very interesting series that looks super one-sided on paper, and making a video about that to open up today's show would probably be the best way to go about it. But instead of doing that, I decided, hey, there are other things that I would rather talk about instead to open up today's segment, and this topic is one that we have already discussed before. We talked about this literally yesterday. But because it was such a hyped up piece of news, I felt it was more than appropriate to go out there and expand more so on the update. You know from the title, you know from the thumbnail, today we are talking about Cole Caufield, the most recent Montreal Canadiens 8-year extension guy. And we're going to be going over some comments made by him, Kent Hughes, and just the overall thought process behind him and his future for the next 8 years. Montreal has a good one here, folks, and if you want the entire scoop, we talked about it all yesterday. Cole Caufield was a very talented player for the Canadiens the past few years. I was arguing that because the sample size and games played may not be the best so far, it would be understandable if the Canadiens did not want to commit a significant amount of money or term to this guy. But it doesn't matter, because they did anyway, and they said in the limited sample that Caufield did have, he was one of the top players in the NHL. He was one of the top goal scorers in goals per game. Even though he has not had the longevity just yet, if he continues down the path that he has been going down, then sooner rather than later we're going to see a 30, a 40, maybe a 50-goal season out of Cole. And if anything is going to go right in the way that we hope it is, he'll likely get something like that somewhere in the next few years of the extension he was just given yesterday. He's 5'7", only 22 years old, I believe. 22, 21, something like that. He's young. And he'll be 30 years old when this contract expires in 2031. Either way, today we're going over onto an article on MontrealGazette.com, and the reason we're using this article in particular is because they have the most quotes from Caufield and the press conference he had done after he had signed the extension. What I wanted to do was go over some of the things that Caufield said about the Canadiens, about the extension itself, about him sticking in Montreal, and the Gazette article has the most quotes. So, link is in the description. We're using this article because I can screenshot the quotes and put it on the screen. It's easier for all of us. But essentially, the first quote here from Cole Caufield is right there in the subheader. At the end of the day, I just love being a hockey player, says the 22-year-old who will earn an AAV of $95,000 per game for 8 years. That is the weirdest way I've ever seen the AAV put out there. $95,000 per game, $95,000 per at most 20 minutes of game time. That's pretty good, if I do say so myself. That's more money than I make in a year. Maybe more money than a lot of y'all make in a year as well. Who really knows? Either way, though, the first quote that pops up from Caufield in the body of the article goes over how Caufield is making less money than Canadiens captain Nick Suzuki. And this is where things get really great, because Caufield says, I think that's kind of understood on both sides too. That's our guy, Nick Suzuki is. He's our leader. I think everyone around us knows that. It's still a heck of a lot of money, though. I'm not complaining about anything like that. I'm excited and I'm proud to be a part of this, and to do it with him will be pretty special as well. That's a great way to put it. You know, we never see the humility out of hockey players in the same way we had just seen in that quote, where Caufield's like, yeah, like, Nick is our guy, and he's going to be making more money than me because he's our guy. He's our leader, he's our captain, he is the man. And for me, I'm still making a heck of a lot of money, so I'm good. Like, that one individual line is so funny to me that I just had to go out there and put a spotlight on it, because you never see players say, yeah, like they'll say it in a euphemistic kind of way. I'm still very happy with the contract that I got. I think that my agent did a great job. I'm still very satisfied. This more than meets our recommendations. Caufield's like, yeah, I'm still making a lot of money. Heck of a lot of money. So I'm good. Like, I love that. Love the swagger that Cole Caufield goes out there and displays. We have ourselves some more comments, though, made by him. This is what Caufield said in regards to taking more of a leadership role beside Suzuki. I think looking up to a guy like Nick who handles himself the right way, everybody kind of looks at him, and with him doing all those things, everybody wants to be just like that. I think the culture that we have, the positivity for the game that we have is kind of contagious throughout the room. Every part of the organization these days is heading in the right direction. Now pause before we continue on with that. Nick Suzuki displaying leadership-type qualities in an infectious way that makes the rest of the Canadiens want to follow suit? Where have we seen this before? Oh yeah, how about the guy that was the captain the entire time Nick Suzuki was here and developing? Shea Weber. That guy is the first person that came to my mind when I read about this Suzuki quote and thought about the Montreal Canadiens and their leadership core, guys doing things, showing off the right habits that infect the rest of the team in a positive way. Yeah, that's Shea. Good on Nick Suzuki for incorporating those aspects into his own leadership, and for Caufield to highlight it so eloquently in this quote, it's a very good sign. I'm really looking forward to having this full summer to make sure I'm back to 100%, Caufield said. The way things are going right now, I'm not too worried at all. I think I also saw somewhere that said that Caufield had been cleared to start skating as early as like 10 days ago or something like that. I'm not really too sure if that's the 100% accurate quote. Actually, let's go ahead and look that up. Twitter, Caufield cleared. There we go. Let's see if that's a thing. Okay, yeah, he's been cleared for full activity about 10 days ago via NHL Watcher. Good to see, good to see, good to see. Caufield also said that when it came to the ideas of him maybe not signing or whatever, becoming an RFA on July 1st, he wasn't really worried about that at all. On my side, their side, it's all been handled very well, very professional. With the injury, I didn't really expect anything to happen right away. We just knew both sides wanted to be there and both be long-term, so I couldn't be more excited, and I think it all worked out in the end. I'm excited to be here long-term, Caufield said. I think it puts my family in a good place as well. All those things that kind of went into this final number and the years, I'm very excited and very lucky to be part of the Montreal Canadiens for a long time. I love the way this organization is going, the mindset, the groups of guys that we've got, the younger players, everything's just going in the right direction. I put myself in a huge part of this team building forward, and I think there's a lot of things that are growing inside. I think we're heading down the right direction, so I couldn't be more excited and proud. I think at the end of the day, both sides kinda got what they wanted, and I couldn't be more proud. I'm a team player, and I want what's best for us. There are a few more quotes in here from Caufield talking about money and how the dollar amounts are kind of ludicrous to him, how he's going to be coming to the rink every day and all that. So you can click the link in the description below if you want to go ahead and read the rest of this piece. It's a good one. It has a whole bunch of quotes and it's good reading material for any Montreal Canadiens fan. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What are your opinions about Caufield and the perspective he has towards the contract extension? How he's more than okay taking a pay cut from Nick Suzuki's number. How he wants to grow alongside of Suzuki. And how this team is poised for success with 2 top-line stars making this amount of money for the next 8 years. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Juraj 99 and bye.